Extreme E Season 3 was an epic journey across the planet, highlighting environmental issues while promoting emergent technologies and the amazing people combating the climate emergency. On the track, we raced on the bank of the Red Sea.
Oh, into the water!
Through the mists of Scotland.
RXR off the side of the road! Johan Kristoffersson!
And on the unforgiving rocks of Sardinia.
One of the biggest accidents of the season!
Before the season climax in the Atacama Desert, Chile.
And it continues to deliver the drama right now!
All with full gender equality at its core. This is Extreme E.
Prepare to be aggressive.
Hyperdrive now.
Chile Unfiltered. Our cameras caught the drama of the final showdown weekend of the championship as 5 teams battled it out to become victors of Season 3 of Extreme E in one of the most remote locations on the planet, the Chilean Atacama Desert.
Alright, folks. No, it's unfiltered. Everything is on the bed. We're just waiting to put it in the bag. We haven't gotten very far. What do you think, Mom?
Bags arrived! Actually just sitting in the rental car and this guy, no offense, he's doing his job, but he did show where the brake and the throttle was for Johan. I'm pretty sure he can find it, but better safe than sorry.
This is the Atacama Desert and it's the driest place on Earth. It is the perfect backdrop to our championship deciding weekend. We have 5 teams still in the hunt for the Extreme E Season 3 title. You can very much feel the tension down here in the paddock.
My balls are like in.
Yes. This is for the Instagram.
Oh, sorry.
You can see the line from last year, or this is Carlos.
Last year was a bit steeper, I think. Then you couldn't go really 100% full, but this year I reckon you can go more or less flat out. Oop. We'll cut that one out.
It's championship weekend, the pressure I know is on, but I can kind of see a smile on your face. You ready for this?
Of course we feel the pressure because, you know, the championship is on fire. We still can win, we still can finish 3rd, 4th, so yeah, the pressure is there for sure.
RXR get up into P2. A lot of pressure though coming behind. Tannefeld's got into the back of RXR. That is a disaster for Kristoffersson.
We have a puncture, rear left.
RXR are pretty much out of this.
It's only one mechanic. Only one mechanic.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Why nobody tell us how many people are on? Good job.
Acciona Sainz going slowly as well, so our 2 championship contenders having an absolute shocker at the start of the day.
I don't know what Tanner was trying to do. Well, he hit you.
Oh, yeah. I think that's where I picked up the punch.
I don't think I should have gotten the penalty, but they can't see that I'm hard on the brakes the whole time. They just, on the outside, it just looks like I'm trying to flip them over, you know? Yeah. I was stuck until you cleaned us up. Yeah. You gave a little tap, and that's what separated it. And I was still stuck on the brakes. Yeah.
Visibility is really tough out there for all of the drivers. They're suffering so much.
That's off that crest. The number 99's gone over. Hozos goes towards the back of the pack. Oh, it's a roll! Big roll! Clara Anderson goes over. She spins the Ab Cooper in turn 1. Red flag straight away. Oh, the Veloce's got a puncture. Front right is off. It's off the rim. Broken suspension. Laya Sands moves into the lead. Oh, massive hit! And a roll! Munnings has gone over after running out the back of the stricken Veloce.
You okay, Katie?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I'm flashing red. Can I get out?
Copy. They're coming for you. It's a red flag. They're coming for you.
Molly, try to go back to the pit. Go back to the pit.
Come on, drive back. He needs to drive back.
Yeah,
whatever cost. If it's limping, doesn't matter. Get back here.
She's not in the car, is she?
She got out.
She should try to reset it.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed there, am I?
Still not on the wheels.
Put that down. It's ridiculous.
I don't think you've got time to do a bare chassis overnight. No.
If we'd have done it this morning, maybe.
It is time for our grand finale of round 9.
Green light and away in the middle of the grid. It wasn't a good start for Kevin Hansen. He's been left on the line, so a retirement from Veloce at the start. Extra with the whole shot. Christopherson looks up the inside of McConnell. Gets it to P2. Fraser drops down to third. Now Christopherson is within striking distance of Ekstrom. Looks towards the inside line. Runs the car out wide. Going to try for the outside pass. He's late on the brakes as they head down into the switch zone. They're absolutely side by side.
Ahora que haga eso, Matías, es el momento.
Oh, this will be tricky for them. Ekstrom drives over the dirt on the inside, takes a shortcut. Why is Ekstrom pulled off to the inside?
Surely you're not able to do that.
Este era el secreto.
¿En serio?
Sí, sí, sí.
¿Eso se puede hacer?
Sí. No hay chevrones ni nada.
Mientras pasen por todos los puntos, pues ha atajado que flipa.
Un poquito.
Ekstrom's so clever with the regulations.
I don't see!
Tell you on the radio.
No ve nada, no ve nada.
Radio.
La radio, con la radio.
They tell her to go. She couldn't see because of the dust.
No se veía nada.
¿Crees que se sube el viento justo ahí?
Can she make that pass off the inside again that she did earlier on today? She can't lie as Sands runs the car wide into the dirt on the outside.
Cover left. Vamos, no levantes.
Over the line and take the checker flag in round 9. Acciona Sainz right there with them. It's almost a photo finish between our championship rivals, and they will have to do it again tomorrow to decide the champions of season 3.
Yes, that's what we needed. Thank you, Miguel. Great drive. Thank you, team.
Away from the Chilean course, Extreme E Science Committee member Professor Carlos Duarte showed McLaren's Emma Gilmore how Chile is harvesting energy from an abundant resource in the country, the sun.
We are in the Cerro Dominador thermosolar plant in the core of the Atacama Desert in Chile. So this is an amazing facility that is only 2 years old, and what it does is it has an array of mirrors, 10,600, that track the sun, and those mirrors then project solar light into the tower in the center, and that solar radiation that converges from these 14 hectares of mirrors then heat a salt fluid that then flows through an exchange of heat with water, and then the steam that is generated then activates a turbine that is connected to a generator and produces power. The other mode of solar energy is photovoltaics, and in that mode the panels themselves then generate electricity. But that mode only provides power during the daytime, whereas this heat-based solar plant generates power 24/7.
It's one of the things I love about Extreme E is that we're going to these remote parts of the planet, but we're also learning about technologies, things that are being done around the environment and ways that we're being more environmentally friendly with all the energy solutions. Coming to the middle of the Atacama Desert, I mean, there's no other live sporting event that's going to be here taking part. Being able to bring that spotlight to this area and showcase what's happening here and the amazing technology that's being used.
On a smaller scale, but no less innovative, Extreme E has its own clean energy microgrid, of which solar plays an ever-increasing role.
So this entire paddock is powered by the solar farm you see behind me, the hydrogen fuel cell and the battery storage in the middle. So we started off at the very beginning, race 1, season 1, Saudi Alula, and we did that event on 12 generators alone. No batteries, no solar, just generators. And we did that to benchmark the event because we had plans moving forwards. Race 2 of season 1, we started deploying batteries and solar, And by the end of season 1, we reduced fuel consumption by 46%. And by the end of season 2, we had a real clear idea with all the data we gathered on the power monitoring we've installed as to this new system you can see behind us. Then season 3, we've got the hydrogen fuel cells that we've got integrated multiple throughout the year and the new solar farms. Season 1 first race to now, emissions are reduced by 99.999%. It's a very robust and flexible system, and it's expandable as well. If we can get it to work in the harsh environments that the Extreme E goes to, there's no reason it can't work in the UK, Europe, anywhere in the world.
Technical development is everywhere at Extreme E, and no more so than in the amazing Odyssey 21 racing car. Technology is used to increase performance, but its #1 priority is safety.
Motorsport is inherently dangerous. You push the limits of everything in racing. You push the limits of the cars, the hardware, you push the limits of you as a human being and what risk you're willing to accept. But in order to mitigate the risk, you have to come up with safety measures. They get innovated, they get created, they get invented along the way. Certainly with a very extreme series, we have very extreme safety measures.
We wanted to make an exciting racing car, but of course we've got to make a safe racing car. We selected Spark as our Extreme E race car designer because of their heritage and experience in Formula E. We're dealing with high voltage battery EV race cars.
Of course, safety has always been a concern, and it's always a concern when you design a car. We have worked a lot on doing a lot of CAE analysis, so calculation and so on, to make sure that the roll cage is strong enough to sustain heavy crashes, and so far it has always been the case. Clearly, we have a roll cage that is compliant with FIA standards, but we have added some additional protection and some, for example, anti-penetration panels around the cockpit and the battery. We have added some absorption material also in the bodywork to make sure that you absorb some energy to reduce a bit the damages and the level of G's you can see during a crash on some key elements. The main roll cage is made out of steel reinforced with niobium. The property of this steel is interesting because it's very resistant, but it can sustain a good level of elongation, we say, so deformation, and absorb some energy in case of crash. So that's something very important. We have done also some various homologation and tests for the FIA. Like deceleration test of the battery. The battery can sustain like up to 45 Gs, and so far I think the highest peak acceleration that we have seen during a crash was around 25, so it means in theory we have quite a bit of margin.
Besides a lot of the safety equipment that you can see, like the roll cage and seatbelts and things, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. With off-road racing, naturally you need ground clearance, so you see these Odysseys are quite high off the ground, which brings their center of gravity quite high, which gives them a pivot point that they can tend to roll over. So there's a lot of things to combat that. The Fox shocks, the wide stance, a quick steering ratio so that you can, any kind of kick to the side you get, the driver has control over that. There's a lot of things that you don't necessarily pick up from watching the broadcast that's going into some of the safety systems that keep the rubber side down as you're going 100 miles an hour over this terrain.
It's an incredibly strong car. We've seen some big hits now, and I think it's always kind of done a good job and kept us safe. So yeah, that's important obviously for us to feel that way. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to perform the way that we try to on track. We wouldn't be able to risk what we risk, because obviously that comes first.
It's been an amazing adventure for all the teams and drivers this season. But which location was their favourite, both on and off the course?
My favourite location of Extreme E is here in Chile. It's an absolutely amazing track, so fun to drive.
Kevin Hansen out front for Veloce.
My favourite location of the season was probably Scotland, because it was somewhere new, and also the scenery, the mine, looking down on the valley to the start line was epic.
Chile. I mean, for me it's a special place because here's where I made my debut last year, and I've learned so much, and it was nice to really show that on a spectacular track like this.
This year I think Scotland was my favorite track to drive alone, but then when you get a bunch of other angry people out there with helmets on, and it can be pretty treacherous. So Scotland was certainly the biggest contrast. Most fun alone, most difficult in a crowd.
Brilliant pass by Tanner Faust.
I still love going to Saudi, and I think racing along the beach was very unique.
I think it was Scotland. It was an amazing place. The track conditions changed a lot each race, so it was very interesting.
Sardinia, I really like the track, and the place, of course, it's nice to go there in summertime.
I would say, where you have a place where we've had really good results and great memories, so I'll just have to go with Sardinia.
Legacy programs are a huge part of any Extreme E weekend, and they all stand out in their own way, but Saudi is super special for me.
My favorite legacy project had to be kicking off the year in Saudi. We got to hand feed ostrich, which was pretty crazy to me. They're literally like right here.
My favorite legacy this year was definitely in Scotland when I had the waders on, walking through the water and learning about the fish and the environment there.
Sardinia was pretty cool with the bees. I think when you go really deep into it and you understand what the bee is doing, I think this was quite impressive, and this is still in my mind.
The greatest thing about Extreme E is actually the fact that we're a sport for purpose. And that purpose is using sport as a catalyst to educate people on climate change.
Extreme E Chile unfiltered.
Last day in Chile will be an exciting day. We are leading the championship by 6 points, so yeah, it will be exciting. But yeah, this is Extreme E, everything can happen, so we'll see who wins.
Timmy Hansen alongside me, Andretti not taking part today.
Yeah, it was a massive hit yesterday. I think, you know, it's one of those crashes that no one wants to have in Extreme E. I'm happy to be back at track supporting some of the other teams.
I'll make sure we've got illegal tyre pressures as well.
Yeah.
Just so that we cheat to be able to get ahead.
Highly illegal
Oh, you're listening to me.
RJ Anderson moves across and squeezes Johan Kristoffersen. Kristoffersen has not got a good start here. He's P5 out of everyone. Kristoffersen makes his first pass. That's P5 into P4.
Making the pass on the inside line.
Kristoffersen up to P3. He passes RJ Anderson on the brakes into the switch zone. P5 to P2.
Ha salido último, ¿eh? Vamos allí a levantar polvo todos.
0.4 of a second. Extra speed through the long left hand.
Just keep on pushing over the finish. Nice job.
That's a brilliant drive by the young Norwegian.
Good job, Hedda. Well done.
I saw actually Miguel in the mirror into the last corner. Yeah. And I saw she was like coming up like, nope, no thank you.
It did look like that into there. I was like, that's a bit ambitious.
Hay algo en el coche que no está bien, porque me he pensado que había pinchado ahí. No, a la segunda vuelta.
Unas piedras que dan miedo,
Me la he encontrado a media trazada y he girado, he perdido más de medio segundo para no pillar la piedra.
Venía Molly a 0,6.
Sí, lo sé.
Ha metido la rueda así en una rodera.
Y ha hecho ¡popa!
Una rodera.
Pero es que yo iba vigilando eso, estaba muy feo,
They were split by traction challenge. X44 were quickest, and then RXR were only 0.4 faster than Ganassi. If Ganassi were quicker, RXR would be in a redemption race. 0.4 of a second of the traction challenge got them into the final.
How you feeling?
I'm good. Lots of maths, lots of permutations, lots of connotations for the championship.
There you go. This is the madness of championship day.
So what the Vodafone Command Centre is about the tensest place on earth right now, although I have to say the commentary box is a pretty close second, so we are. Here we go, one last race to decide the 2023 Extreme E title. Good start in the middle for Kevin Hansen for Veloce. Kristoffersen chose slot number 5 to give himself a bit of space. He's got Fraser McConnell inside him. Matthias Ekstrom trying to get the whole shot on the inside line. RXR trying to come right the way round. Kristoffersen trying to go up the inside. The Jamaican up at 2 wheels. The RXR up on the top of the banking. Johan Kristoffersen saved the biggest roll there with an enormous moment, and now they have it all to do. Ekstrom is out front for Acciona Sainz. If it carries on like this, they'll be champions, but RXR are going to fight back. You're in for a race now.
Front right faster.
Hit.
Might be something more broken, I think.
Is the dream over for RXR? Taylor, what's Taylor done? Has she released early? Now Arlene Kotlinski goes in. All she can do is get that car to the finish as fast as she can. Oh, as Sands gets ultra sideways, trying to get back past Molly Taylor. Michael with all the carnage that's going on. Bad bounce! It goes sideways! Spin! This is unbelievable. We thought it was all over with RXR at the start, and it continues to deliver the drama right now. They
Venga, sigue, somos pedos, va, sigue.
Something wrong.
No, they're
That's
off.
gone wrong. Something's gone wrong for Laia Sands. She's off in the dirt and RXR are through.
As fast as you can, Laia, just spun. You need to keep going.
There's still a lap. Oh, she's rolled. That's it.
No!
Oh no, the steering's broken for RXR.
There is too much going on here.
This is unbelievable. So now can Arlen Kotlinski get round for a lap and a half with broken steering and pick up the title? RXR are going to win the title in the most bizarre of title deciding races I've ever seen in my life.
Just over the finish, and then you can say, hell yeah.
Rosberg X Racing are the 2023 Extreme E champions.
How is Laia, by the way? How is Laia? That's the most important thing, but yeah.
I saw her getting out of the car, so I believe she's okay.
And this win we dedicate to Kyle Leduc.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Extreme E 2023, Season 3, that's a wrap.
Yet again, the championship fight went down to the wire. Every point is critical, and the Continental Traction Challenge has played a decisive part in the story of Season 3.
So the Conti Traction Challenge is a possibility for each team to earn additional points for the championship. So within a special sector, they are looking at the fastest time from male and female drivers, combined time from both. Whoever is fastest gets 2 additional points for the championship. Looking back at the last race weekend, Acciona Science has won the Conti Traction Challenge 3 times. So they have got 6 points out of the Conti Traction Challenge, and that makes the difference between first and second place. So this is probably the most competitive end for a season which we have ever seen.
And we think, based on the Continental Traction Challenge, that will be enough to put both our championship teams through to the grand final, and the championship will go down to the wire.
You can see the Continental Traction Challenge, Rosberg X Racing still leading the way, 2 points for that.
If RXR were to get P4 and Sands was to stay in P2, they'd be 1 point apart, meaning that if RXR picked up the Continental Traction Challenge, they would win the title by 1 point.
Whoa.
This could not be closer. And it's the biggest career title for Michaela Arlen Kotlinski, limping over the finish line. Rosberg X Racing are the 2023 Extreme E champions in the most extreme race I think I've ever seen in my life.
In the championship, it's proven it's so important to take all of those really crucial points with the heat wins, and especially the Continental Traction Challenge. We took it yesterday, so that was so important for us heading in today, having +2 extra points.
For me personally, it's really exciting that we are not only delivering the tires who are influencing the performance of the car, but also influencing strategically the whole championship standing with the Conti Traction Challenge.
Season 3 has been the hardest fought to date, with epic racing right from the opening rounds in Neon. There have been highs and lows for all the drivers who have given everything in the most extreme racing series on the planet.
I think Saudi, that's probably my highlight, coming back for that first event and being fastest in practice, taking the first round win, and then backing it up the next day. To be able to sort of come back after a little while away and be there straight away was a really nice feeling.
And Munnings has nicked it. Katie Munnings takes P3. Fantastic result for them.
Overtaking right on the finish line in Sardinia to get onto the podium in the final was probably a bit of a buzz. So yeah, that's probably one of my top moments.
I remember a very, very cool fight in Sardinia with Matthias Ekström.
Looks to the inside contact, runs up the back of Scheider.
I saw the social media numbers, like 4.2 million viewers on this one single overtake, so I think that was very spectacular.
My best memory from this season must be the Sardinia weekend with Seb. Having my childhood hero as my teammate, just speaking about memories, but also to learn about him and his driving style, it was so valuable for me.
The best moment for me was in Sardinia, Won a dominant final, took the start and ran away with it.
The second win of the year for X44 Vida Carbon Racing.
Really nice to show that the X44 car can be up front and win races again.
Best moment of the season probably was when we crossed the line first in Scotland. We were the winners there for a while, but at heart I still feel like we won that race.
My favorite moment this year is probably crossing the line in first, ending up third in Italy, which obviously was an unfortunate event, but that race was so much fun. RJ and I were really on top of our games.
I think the best moment for me and Michaela was being able to win both races in Sardinia 1, overtaking Matthias in the final both days is always a good result.
Another win for RXR.
Winning is always a favorite moment, so to give that to the team, that felt very special.
Being crowned champion is always a defining moment in any driver's career. Facing tough competition while racing in the most extreme environments, RXR were deserved Season 3 victors. Season 4 is just around the corner, and it all starts in the stunning deserts of Jeddah.